Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Bird 91. We're talking to you guys about Married at First Sight and giving you a quick review on my thoughts about this madness, about the way they're handling Binh and Morgan's situation. Let me be very frank with you and very honest with you. I really believe that the experts are doing exactly what we've seen the last few seasons, which is not really be consistent about the way they handle certain situations. We saw the same thing with Haley some seasons back. We saw the same thing with Chris and Paige. We've seen it with who was the other person? I'm trying to remember. There was one more person I'm trying to think of that happened last season. That when it comes to I'm trying to remember his name. Jose and situation as well, Rachel. Like the way they handle sometimes these situations where there seems to be abuse involved, or at least when there seems to be manipulative behavior involved, seems to be so strange to me. Like this Morgan situation is strange to me. And it's strange to me because clearly you guys get to watch the episodes and watch tapes and stuff, and you still made the decision that you made. I'm so confused. Listen, don't get it twisted. Bin ain't innocent. No. Bin is far from innocent. And that those conversations that he keeps having behind the scenes are problematic. They're systematic of somebody who, and we called it out from the beginning. If you go to my very first review about Bin and Morgan, what do I say to you? My first issue of Bin will be he will talk too much. That was my first ever video about them, about he will talk too much. My prediction was absolutely right. And my other prediction was that Morgan would be very controlling, and it's come to pass that both these things would happen. Now, in this situation, what I feel like is that even Dr. Pepper met with Morgan and Bin, and maybe I can do a separate video talking about this. Morgan ended the marriage, right? But she ended the marriage because this was her power play. And the fact that the experts didn't pick up on it is concerning for me. And I remember sort of this Johnny and Bao situation all over again, and all this stupid stuff. It's like, what are the cameras? So the cameras are not catching stuff. The cameras are not doing their job, right? Because clearly, if we see what the cameras are saying, then we can see a narrative that's being spun. Do you know what I'm saying? So sometimes I look at it and I go, hold on, experts. Again, Dr. Pepper piled it on again this week after the last experts already piled on the information about Bin and Morgan. How about now we start working on some tools to help you both grow? How about Morgan again said, I've never had a heartfelt apology from him. Da, 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 da. Last week you were saying the exact same thing. Last week you were saying the exact same thing, or at least the last meetup with the expert was the exact same situation. And yet we know this is a falsity because we've seen him apologize heartfelt for the very first time. It was very heartfelt. This guy apologized twice, and it was not received as a heartfelt apology. I never felt no emotions from it. Really? What from what we saw? Because at the time when you're looking at it, you're almost being dismissive. This guy actually even gave you a breakdown of why he even got to where he got to, and he's gonna have to work on this. Even at the very end of the conversation with Dr. Pepper, you hear him taking accountability. At what point has Morgan taken any accountability? She's a problem. No, because she doesn't take any accountability. At the end of this conversation, Ben's like, look, I'm sorry, do you know what, my bad. You know what? I thought I was ready to be married, but I realized the things in me that I need to work on, X, Y, Z. Right? I thought I was very deep, but I'm actually very surface, which we kind of knew you were going to be, right? Because we knew that by the fact that you keep telling your mum certain stuff, you haven't really learned how to have relationships. There was a lot of naivety, and that naivety also can't be ignored because it hurts people. Let's be real. So that situation happens, and with Morgan and Bin, and I'm like, okay, but Dr. Pepper, where are you? Where are you? Where's the counterbalance? Even towards the end now, before Morgan ends it, still no counter argument, no counterbalance. And again, I'll say it again, Bin needs to speak up. You can't keep quiet. You have to speak up. You have to open your mouth. Closed mouths don't get fed. And because you're not saying anything, you're actually canceling yourself. Because you're not saying anything, you're actually hurting yourself. Because you're not saying anything, you're actually allowing the situation to fester and go on longer than it needs to be. Do you see what I'm saying? You need to actually open up your mouth and speak. Open up your mouth and speak, right? And say, hey, no, I disagree that because I've apologized. But instead, he's making faces. So he's being passive with his energy. And when you be passive with your energy, you don't get things done. You see what I'm saying? right? You don't get things done, right? So for me, yeah, I need the experts to fix up, man, real fast, real quick. We've had last 2 weeks. Morgan's told us that she's gonna make him show up, and she did. She made him show up. She made Bin show up and get trashed in 2 weeks in 2 weeks in a row. She done exactly what she said she was gonna do. You know. So yeah, listen, guys, like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think about the experts? I'm tired of them, man. I'm tired of some of the advice. The last few years that have been happening when it comes to certain things like this. We're like, yo, we all knew Morgan was gonna move mad. This girl's been harping on about the same thing about he hurt me, he hurt me. It's like, babe, move on. Move on. He's apologized. He actually has apologized. And Ben, speak up, because you're wasting our time when you don't speak up, and you're causing her to run over you. It's time to speak up. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads.